Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Miami Heat. Oh, man, we had the Miami Heat back today, dude, in Puerto Rico, taking on the Orlando Magic. They end up losing 126 to 118, and a game they mostly controlled throughout the way. Eric Spoelstra, but a lot of interesting things in this game, particularly in the first half. Second half was a lot of young guys and new guys, and honestly, the basketball in the fourth quarter was worse than summer league. Like, it was not a great watch, but the early goings, there was a lot of things that were interesting and a lot of stuff to dive into. Now, mind you, the Heat, they come into this game, a lot of their guards are out. Davion Mitchell's hurt. Kasper Giacochonis is out. We know Tyler Hero's out for a while. Pelle Larsson's hurt. Terry Rozier's hurt. So 5 of their guards are out. Now, I came into this thing not knowing what the status was of Dru Smith. I was unaware. I was like, is he playing? Is he good to go? Well, we got our answer today. And I honestly think this, guys, I honestly think that is probably the best story of the game today. I really do. I mean, Dru Smith was out on the court making things happen. He was a team high today, I believe. A team high plus 11 in his 10 minutes out there. But, like, he looked good. I mean, he looked absolutely moving well. He was crafting through the paint. He was hitting runners. He was, he had a couple of blocks out there today. One of the guys he's meeting at the rim, I'm just like, damn, Dru Smith. All this talk about, oh, my God, look at the Achilles recovery for Jason Tatum and wish him well, wish him the fastest. But, you want to start looking at how the guys are coming back from Achilles injuries. I was like, oh, this guy, I mean, this is crazy. He's got to come back from that. And what did he come back? He came back, this was December of last year. And he's on the court already, playing like that. He looked good today, dude. Looked confident. Got his contract. I was happy for Dru Smith. So that to me, I think, is overall the best story, because we've talked about the Miami Heat and their guards. And let me tell you something, dude. Eric Spoelstra loves this guy, okay? He absolutely adores Dru Smith. So Dru Smith coming back here and already making his presence known, very interesting. I will put that out there. That is very, very interesting. So there's that. Let's get to the starting lineup of today, and let's get to this because, as far as the young guys in the end, I mean, you had a good game from Trevor Keels. He looked pretty good. We got to see Precious Achiuwa in the second half. That was kind of cool. They had him in there getting runs. Spo said he was going to try and play everybody. He did. Vlad Golden then got in like midway through the fourth. So saw a lot of that. We got a cool Keyshawn Johnson reverse jam from this kid, Jameer Young. So that was kind of cool in the second half. And then Kel'el Ware, a lot of eyes on him today. What was his production going to be like? And it was pretty strong. I mean, Kel'el Ware today finished with 10 points in, what was his total minutes today? Hold on, let's expand this box score. Yeah, 17 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 1 steal, and he was 4 of 10 from the field. Like, that was the only thing. And mind you, that's a Magic team with some real size in it. Wendell Carter, Goga Patatse, some actual dudes. So it's a nice little test. And I think that was my big takeaway from this game. Now, Franz Wagner, I don't know if he's hurt or just didn't play. He did not play in this game. They went with a starting lineup of Paolo Banchero, Tristan Da Silva, Wendell Carter, Tyus Jones, and, of course, their newly acquired guard, Desmond Bane. The Miami Heat started this game, and this gives us a little bit of insight into what Spo is thinking, but not too much of a surprise based on the fact that they gave this guy an extension. But Nikola Jović, dude, got himself a starting lineup nod today. So Nico gets the start in the starting lineup. Here's what we had. Nico, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell, and then you had Jaime Jaquez Jr. sitting basically in the other guard spot today. Although he was in rebounding mode a lot down low today. But Jaime was put in the starting lineup, which, I wasn't surprised. I was like, look, if anybody's going to take advantage of this, it's got to be Jaime Jaquez. But here are the things that stood about the Heat. All right. They really did try and run more today. I mean, that really was the thing. The Heat tried to turn the ball over, and when they got turnovers, they tried to get out and run and make things happen. So that was a thing that was very noticeable from Miami today. Andrew Wiggins looking super comfortable, super smooth. That was exciting to see. Andrew Wiggins had a shot going today. I believe he finishes Miami's leading scorer. He had 11 points in 12 minutes. He was 4-6, 2 of 2 from downtown. But my favorite, one of my favorite. I had two favorite plays today. But Andrew Wiggins had this beautiful rip that led to a Norman Powell to Nikola Jović alley-oop, and I was like, that was pristine. I enjoyed seeing that. That was a sight to behold. So that was very enjoyable. Nico, listen, I don't want to be a Wawa. I don't want to be a racetrack. I don't want to be a BP. I don't want to be gassing this guy up too much. All right. And so I'm gonna be even keeled when I say this. But the way Nikola Jović plays basketball, it moves me. It does wonders for the soul. The way this man plays basketball. Fast, head down, getting to the rim, and ones. And the thing that I liked about it today, and I think that should be noticed, this was a lot of battling Paolo Banchero. That was noticeable today. You know, that he was guarding him early. Paolo got some and ones on him, but Paolo didn't exactly feast today. You know, finished with with 7 points, 2 of 7. Not a great day for him. And they had some of us, but man, he hits this step back three on Paolo Banchero. And I love saying his name, by the way. And I'm just like, Jović, dude. Like, what are you gonna say? Like, this is what we've seen from him. He looks very, very comfortable. He looks very he looks tremendous in his skills. And by the way, that then led to Paolo Banchero fouling him on a 3-point shot. So he's now getting a guy who everybody looks at and says, hey, Paolo Banchero is one of the best young players in the league. And Jović is here, like, got him absolutely shook, chasing on 3 balls and fouling him on 3-point shots. I mean, I'm just sitting here and it's noticeable. I'm not going to, I don't, am I just supposed to ignore that? I'm just supposed to look at that and, oh, that's nothing. So it was a really good showing for Nico. It was a good showing for Andrew Wiggins. Norman Powell hit some shots. Like I said, he had the assist. You know, kind of it reminded me a lot of that first game he played for Jamaica, where it was kind of like he was kind of laying in the weeds a little bit. So that was cool. And then Bam, fascinating game from Bam today. Finished 0 for 5 from the field and wasn't able to get some conversions around the rim. So that's a noticeable thing that was like, But on the good side of things, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Bam put his head down and was really trying to play physical. And I think that was the Heat were trying to get to the rim today. That was something that was just very, very noticeable from jump today. And I think that was but Bam particularly like set that tone. So that's something to just keep an eye on. I haven't heard any of the post game. I've been watching too much sports tonight. All right, guys, I'm on overload. I'm about to go watch the end of the UFC card. I've not even gotten to see any of the fights tonight. It's nearly 11 p.m. I just watched the Canes beat FSU. I riled up all of Lightning Twitter with just a simple tweet because their team today just decided we're going to be a bunch of goons because they want some get back for AJ Greer. And, they're mad because Florida's not only taking the crown of hockey, but taking the love of this sport in the state. And everybody who lives in Tampa Bay doesn't even want to like the Lightning. They'd much rather live here and root for the Panthers anyway. but they're all just in denial, and they're silly children. So I riled them all up. I threw a little tweet grenade, and I've just watched them just lose their minds on themselves. It's been delightful, cackling, and so I watched that. And but this Heat game today, it was the first half definitely brought something. The Heat will be back in action on Monday. I'll be boots on the ground for that one. They'll be taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Trying to think, did I miss anything of note for today that really stands out on it? Not too much. Like I thought Jaquez was okay. Jaquez had a little bit of a moment. He hit a shot. He hit a three right after Nico hit a three. You know, I do think that, like, for Jaquez, like, there was a couple of moments where I was like, like extra possessions went the way of the Orlando Magic. So, like, I'm really watching the energy there that he brings all the time. He was the only starter to play in the second half. So I think Spo is looking for Jaime to, like, really make an impact and make it like, hey, dude, what are you going to do? Like, what are we going to get from you here? And that to me was like that to me was like an interesting thing from the negative perspective. Like, I was like, I don't know what did I like that performance by Jaime? I didn't exactly feel like I got a guy who looked much different. But again, it's preseason. I'm not gonna, put a conviction on it or nothing like that. But I have my eyes on it just because of I think he's in an urgent situation to get playing time. So that's why I'm looking at it with a little bit more of a critical eye, just because I'm like, hey man, when Pella gets healthy and the rest of these guards get healthy, and they're not just doing everybody plays, like, I don't know where your time's gonna be. So I'm looking for him to, like, try and hit the ground running. And I didn't feel that too much today. But again, it's a rando game. They played half of it in Puerto Rico. Let's see what he does once this week gets going with the real preseason. But the way Wiggins looked, the way Nico looked, Bam's aggression, and Dru Smith's comeback, those to me were the big headliners today. And now we move forth to games in the Heat's house.